So I understand why people would feel anxious. I get why you might be worried about the course of our country. I get worried too. I understand why sometimes it may be tempting just to tune out, just to watch football or HGTV or the Great British Baking Show, whatever floats your boat. But I'm here to tell you, Pittsburgh, that tuning out's not an option. Sulking and moping, that's not an option. The only way to make this economy fair is if we, all of us, fight for it. The only way to save democracy is if we together fight for it. And it starts with electing people who know you, who see you, who care about you, who've stood in your shoes. You did that 2 years ago when you sent Joe Biden to the White House. He's fighting for you every day. He's got your back, doing everything he can to put more money in your pockets, to make our streets safer, to bring more good-paying jobs here to Pennsylvania. Now you need to do it again. Because while there may be a lot of issues at stake in this election, there is one basic question that you should be asking yourself right now, and that is, who will fight for you? That's the choice in this election. Who will fight for you? Who will fight for working people who are struggling to pay their bills? You know, listen, inflation's a real problem right now. It's not just here in America, it's worldwide. And it has to do with the legacy of the pandemic. It wrecked supply chains, disrupted the economy. Then you've got a war in Ukraine that sent energy prices through the roof. So, you know, folks see grocery prices going up, gas prices going up. It takes a real bite out of their paychecks. It hurts. I get that. But the question you've got to ask yourself is, who's actually going to do something about it? The Republicans like to talk about it, but what's their answer? What's their economic policy? They want to gut Social Security. They want to gut Medicare. They want to give rich folks and big corporations more tax cuts. By the way, don't boo. Vote. They can't hear you boo, but they'll hear you vote. Now, it should come no surprise that Republicans want to cut taxes for the wealthy and big corporations, because that's their solution to everything. When inflation's low, they say, let's cut taxes for the wealthy. If unemployment's high, let's cut taxes. When it's the reverse, they want to cut taxes on the wealthy. If there was an asteroid that headed towards Earth, they'd all get in a room and say, you know what we need? Tax cuts for the rich. I mean, it's nice if you got one answer to every economic problem. We got some students here. You remember when, maybe you're more responsible than me. There were some times when I was in school where I did not study. And you go in and let's say there's a math test, you didn't study for it. It'd be nice if you could just write down the same answer for every question. Just write down 8. And then you'd get an A. But you know what? That doesn't work in math, and it doesn't work in economics. And that's why Democrats have an actual plan to take on the drug companies to lower prices, to pass laws to make housing more affordable, to make sure big corporations create jobs here in Pennsylvania instead of overseas. That's the choice in this election. That's what this is all about. There's a lot of talk about crime right now. You know, violent crime has gone up. But, you know, it went up over the last 7 years, not just the last 2. They don't talk about the previous guy. It's gone up in conservative rural places, not just cities. But the question is, who will fight to keep you and your family safe? Is it Republican politicians who want to flood our streets with more guns? Who actually voted against more resources for police departments.